Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to be doing this video because it's on one of my absolute favorite topics. If you haven't guessed, yes, it's on weddings. I love weddings. When I was growing up, my dream was to be J-Lo from The Wedding Planner. I had been planning my wedding my entire life. I love. Growing up, was the little girl that just read wedding magazines all the time. And I am married. I've been married almost 5 years, but I still love everything to do with weddings, and I actually help coordinate weddings. People come to me for advice, and I love seeing such a beautiful day come together in such a representation of love in two people, and it's the day that reflects their life before and what's to come, and I love being a part of that. But I also know weddings can be so expensive. Oh my gosh, it is one of the most expensive days of your entire life. But it doesn't always have to be. So today I want to talk about my top 5 tips to saving money while planning your wedding. Let's get into it. So my first tip is don't hire a wedding planner. As much as we all love J-Lo, I think that especially if you're trying to save money, I don't think that it's worth your dollar. To be honest, nowadays, the age that we live in, knowledge and resources are at our fingertips, and so I think that there are so many amazing ways that you can plan your own wedding by yourself. I can link it down below, a video where I have these $10 printables of wedding timelines, wedding checklists, everything that you need. It's a wedding planner, and it's $10, and it basically walks you through the most important stages of your wedding. As well as, do I need to say anything else? Pinterest. Pinterest is a great resource for getting ideas and inspirations, and honestly, with the internet, it is so easy to locate the things that you need nowadays. My only thing is maybe opt for a day of coordinator, somebody that will take the stress off of you on the day. They'll be the point person when somebody needs to walk down the aisle, if vendors need to get paid, etc., etc. Things that you don't need to be dealing with the very day of your wedding. And you don't always have to pay somebody. You can opt for a very trustworthy and organized friend, or maybe a family member that really wants to be involved in some way. It doesn't always have to break the bank. So number 1, don't hire a wedding planner. Number 2, try and find a space that will have both the reception and the venue. This isn't Bible. This is not 100% truth. Sometimes it is cheaper to have your wedding and reception at 2 different venues, but sometimes it can be cheaper and just more efficient to have it in one place. And what people don't always realize is that if you say you want to get married at a park, parks aren't always free. You have to get a permit, and then a lot of times you have to get a photography permit, which can cost money, and what happens if your permit gets denied. When Andrew and I got married 5 years ago, we got married at the same place that we had the reception, and they ended up giving us the ceremony location for free because we were booking our reception there, and a lot of times people will do that. So I would definitely look into that if you're thinking about having it at 2 separate locations, unless you're getting the steal of the deal and it really is the cheaper chicken, then I would go ahead and look into having them both at one place. Plus, it's also easier that you just are staying in one place all day. Number 3, food. If you watch any of my other videos, you know that I talk about how important food is on the wedding day, because it's a part that the guests really get to partake in, and weddings are long, people need to be fed, they want a good meal. It's easy, but it doesn't always have to break the bank. There are some really great and fun alternative food options that that you can use instead of just the typical traditional sit-down meal. So 1, you can have hors d'oeuvres, which if you do it right, you can have a variety of hors d'oeuvres and enough for everybody so that people are actually full and they've been able to try a lot of different types of dishes. The buffet tends to be considerably cheaper than having, again, your traditional sit-down dinner where you're being served. And a lot of times you get a great variety of food. People get to choose exactly what they want, and it ends up being really great. So you can always opt for that. And the last but most fun option that I've seen is actually getting a food truck to come to your wedding. It's not only delicious, it is so fun and very memorable. I think that it's a great idea, and it just adds this extra punch, and people get to pick what they want, and it's really cute. It's a great idea. Number 4, this one is so hard because I know being a bride, you want everything, even the tiniest detail, to be absolutely perfect. But my 4th tip is forget about those little details. A lot of time you spend a lot of money on things that people don't notice, and it's usually the week before your wedding. You come up with all these great ideas. I'm going to put these little boxes of these things all over the place, and I'm going to give everybody this ribbon that they're going to wave, and I don't know, all these different things. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go to the store a week before your wedding. Get everything out of the way, because you're just going to pick up these little trinkets that people are not going to notice. Instead, if you really want to personalize it, you know, instead of doing something elaborate, like you could do things like borrowing some picture frames from family and from friends, displaying the pictures of you and your significant other around the room with the bouquets from the bridesmaids just placed in really nice areas, and then it personalizes it for a very inexpensive fee of maybe just the jars for the flowers or the vases. So you can do things like that. For me, we did all these fine details, and I think it's only me and my mom that remember them because we put them all together. Maybe do a few things, cut the list in half, but don't do them all. Don't do it. I warn you, don't do it. And number 5, plan some fun games. So this sounds kind of funny, but I tell you, the best weddings that I've been to have had the best games. So when you're on a budget, saving money, especially for your wedding, is, you know, really big. And when you're on your budget, you're down to the last little chunk of change, and you're thinking, entertainment. What type of entertainment? Are you gonna have live music? Are you gonna have somebody sing? I don't know. I've seen where people have brought in actual like groups of people, like entertainment. Are you gonna do that? We wanted fireworks, we didn't do it. There are a lot of options that you can do for entertainment during your wedding. Again, the photo booth, you can have all of these different things, but they cost an arm and a leg. If you want some great and free entertainment, I would say pick a great MC. Pick somebody that's going to really hype up the crowd, get people involved, and 3, somebody that really gels, that knows the bride and groom so that they are a great representation of what you want, and have them do a few really, really great games. And for my sister's wedding, we did a phenomenal one, and to this day, people are still talking about it. It is hilarious to look back. I have footage.
Okay.
Tell me what I just told you.
Do not take the blindfold off until you tell me.
Just a switch, don't go crazy. All right, just a switch. You gotta bend down. Okay. Just get ready. Oh, come on. Don't be so shy. Come on.
Is it her?
Take off your blindfold.
Coop, I'm coming for you.
And you know what? People remember it, and they were entertained. It was free. How amazing is that? I don't think you have to break the bank for all this entertainment, but you have to give guests something to do, because it is a very long time from, you know, the wedding to the break between the reception, then the reception, and you just have speeches. And sometimes speeches can be just so personal to the bride and groom that it doesn't always speak to the audience. So having something that they can really engage in is a lot of fun and will be very memorable. And again, it's free. Free is the magic word when planning a wedding. So I hope that you enjoyed these tips. If you have any questions or you want to talk more about weddings, I would love to in the comment section down below. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you will know every single time I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye.